Hello. Welcome, Coach Phill here. In this week's video, you're going to love this, especially those of you who want to make a difference long term. This is a video that you need. It is one of those important skills that I learned long time ago, but I continue to develop my ability to do this, okay? And this is how to grow your influence and make a difference long term. Now, if you're in business, if you're whatever you do, whether you're a parent, your mom, you're a father, you're a blogger, whatever it is, we all want to influence other people. We all want to find a way to make a difference to these people. You know, whatever you do, because when you influence people, then you can lead them to live a worthwhile life. But most importantly, you get them to do something that is good for them. I'm talking about influence from a good point of view, okay? Now, there's four steps that I'm going to share with you in this video of how to influence people. But I want you to take it from the point of view, if you want to make a difference in life, you must learn how to influence people. If you're a leader, you must learn how to influence your team. If you're a mother, you must learn how to influence your household. If you're a father, you got to learn the same thing. And it is a skill that is so easy, but has such a fundamental effect on life, okay? So number one, if you want to influence people, you must teach people how to think consistently, okay? You must continuously teach people how to think. It's not about giving when somebody asks you, give them, no. From a coaching perspective, one of the things that I learned from my first coaching client said, if you want to make a difference in people's lives, teach them how to think, stretch them how to think, because a lot of people don't know how to think. Look at how the world is going these days. Look at the teenagers of these days. Their thinking is very, why? Because things are so fast, so quick, they get things easily, okay? Number one, teach people how to think. Teach them how to think about themselves. How they think about, how they show up. What is it they bring to the world? What is unique about them, okay? Then teach them how to think about others, how they're connecting with the world, how they're connecting with their neighbors, how they're connecting with their people that they interact with on a daily basis. And then finally teach them to think about how their purpose is in the world, okay? What is it they're going to do to make a difference worldwide? It's not just about thinking about you in your small cocoon. No, the world is opening up, okay? Now, when you teach people to think that way, somehow consciously and consistently communicating that to them gives you a better way to influence them, but it grows your ability to make a difference in their lives, okay? And I want you to think about it. The more often you do, the better you're going to be able to make a difference, but most importantly, it will go deeper. It's not just telling them to think about it today. No, it is consistently communicating the same thing. Think about this. Think about that. What do you think about this? I noticed that, after doing 10 years of doing the public speaking course across the world, I realized that the more that I involve people in thinking and challenge them to think better, the better they become at learning stuff, the better they execute, the better the trainings are, okay? So number one, teach people to think. Number two, if you want to have that big time influence and be the kind of person who's creating a tribe and creating a movement, you got to challenge people to grow. And this is important. And yes, sometimes we take it for granted. Sometimes I will also, I catch myself thinking, hey, I've not challenged people to grow anymore, And I realize that if it is not deliberate, then your influence goes down, okay? You must actively challenge people to grow. Consistently asking them, hey, are you giving your best? Are you giving your all? Can you do better, Is this the best you can do? Now that you know this and you know that, can you produce something that is better than what you produced before? Because when you challenge people to grow, you're giving them one of those psychological needs. People are either growing or dying. And if you're challenging them to grow, that means you're giving them a need for themselves to become better human beings. But not just become better, they enjoy life better. They become better human beings in making their own difference. And therefore you have influence on them, okay? One of your best coaches, one of your best teachers, one of the people who has got the greatest influence of you, I bet you they have challenged you to grow. So I want you today, tomorrow, whenever, to become conscious about, hey, how am I influencing people? How am I challenging them to grow? How am I teaching them to think, okay? And be deliberate. Wake up in the morning, you're a leader, before you have your leadership meeting. Say, okay, today I'm going to talk to this guy. I want to say this to them, to challenge them. on how to grow. I want to teach them how to think. And in doing that, watch what happens. Look at the results. You'll be surprised. Point number 3, you got to become the kind of guy who role models the way. Now, this is one of the things that I struggle a lot with, especially in my earlier times, okay? But think about being a role model in one way or another, okay? Be a role model where, you cannot be the greatest role model in everything, but let there be something where something can be role modeled about you, okay? Is it the way you show up, or is it the kind of home you have, or is it the kind of you, the way you lead your team? You got to be a role model in something, because in doing that, somehow these people will be like, okay, I want to talk to this guy more. One of the things I noticed with 2 of my clients, I've got 2 wonderful young entrepreneur clients, and one of the things that I did from day one was to say, hey, this year I've decided I'm going to be on time for every meeting that I commit to. Now, all of a sudden, these guys were like, oh, it didn't hit them before. By the way, I learned this from Sadhguru. Sadhguru is a yogi. He's a marvelous yogi. I like to listen to his stuff. So I heard him say for 20 years, he has never been late for a meeting. And I found that very, very interesting, okay? But I also realized why he's having the kind of influence he's having. Anyway, so I tell these guys that, you know what? I have decided I'll never be late, and I expect the same from you. Now, these guys are role modeling the way by making sure they're always on time for our sessions, but you know what has happened? They have been able to take it back into their teams. These guys lead multi-million-dollar organizations, and taking back to their teams, they're beginning to see the difference, and it's amazing, and they come back and tell me about it, and I'm like, yes, that is what it's about, okay? And then finally, point number 4 is, you want to influence people, become their biggest cheerleader, especially through the tough times, especially when things are not going great. Become their cheerleader to help them to unleash the warrior spirit, to help them to keep pushing, to help them to be strong, to help them to keep on the mission. Because sometimes, things are not going to go the way they're supposed to go. Life is not a straight line. Life is not going to be as easy as whatever other people might say. No. You're going to have rough times. Your job, if you want to be a great influencer, is be a great cheerleader. Be there for them when things are tough. Be there for them when things are great. And in doing that, not only will you increase your influence, you'll have the ability to make a difference to many people, because when you influence these guys, then they have the ability to influence other people, and then together we're making this world a better place. So as usual, please share this with everybody else. Share it with somebody. It might make a difference too. Give us a thumbs up. Give us some feedback. Tell me what else you might want me to talk to you about in your journey to become a great entrepreneur. And as usual, remember what time it is. It is time to live strong and live with passion, and know that you got the ability to live life on your terms. Thank you. Bye-bye.